The moment I had to spend my own hard-earned cash on a PC tower is the moment I started building my own custom PCs instead of buying pre-built systems. You see, it has always been a great way to save money building your own PC, which allows you to get more bang for your buck, thus getting better parts for the same price as a pre-built. However, for the first time, I decided to go ahead and order a pre-built from a company called CyberPowerPC. I've been wanting to upgrade my agent rig for quite some time now and actually planned on doing it right after the first of the year during tax return season. However, shortly after figuring out exactly what parts I wanted in my system, the world started dealing with COVID-19, which caused computer components to skyrocket in price, thus crushing my dreams of not waiting over an hour for a 10-minute 4K clip to render in Adobe Premiere. I decided to put my build on hold and wait for prices to come back down, while my keyboard short-circuited from the tears falling from my eyes. That's when an angel, in the form of a 350-pound football linebacker, whom I also call friend, had his computer literally catch fire, to which he needed to find a solution fast, appeared. He ended up buying a pre-built system from Best Buy that was built by the company CyberPowerPC. The price for what he was getting in the system wasn't half bad, which caused me to jump on their website to see how much it would cost me to build my own system, but a completely custom one with all the components that I'd previously wanted. I was shocked to find out that with the deals they were currently running, I could get everything I wanted for about $100 to $150 US more than if I'd built it myself, but with other perks like a 3-year warranty. Fast forward, and here we are with the new system sitting right behind me here on the desk, and me making this video showing you guys what I got, as well as sharing my experiences with using CyberPowerPC to build my new gaming and content creation machine, and whether it's a company you should be using as well. Welcome back to the channel, friends. If you're a regular around these parts, don't forget to drop a like and leave the hashtag OMG down in the comments below to let me know who you are. If you're new around here and you like videos and tutorials related to streaming and content creation like this one, don't forget to subscribe by hitting the red subscribe button below and ring the bell next to it to be notified when I post new videos. Also, I stream on Twitch regularly, so if you have any questions or feedback about today's video, feel free to drop in and say hello when you see me live. The link to that, as always, will be down in the description below. All right, with all the formalities out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. First things first, let's go through exactly how much more this machine cost me, the one sitting right here, versus if I would have built it myself, as well as the extra perks that I received, or maybe I should say should have received for that extra cost. Stay tuned to the end of the video to hear some of the things that CyberPowerPC definitely messed up on and didn't do much to fix or compensate for. You see, with the recent growth of my YouTube and Twitch accounts, I decided to go all in and build a PC that would last me for quite a few years, as well as one that would work for both gaming and live streaming, as well as for content creation, like editing and rendering YouTube videos, like this one. The machine behind me is built inside the Lion L1 PC 011 gaming case, sports a tempered glass front and side panel, allowing you to see all the components inside the machine, as well as the RGB lighting. It has the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Pro ATX motherboard with an AMD Ryzen 9 3950X processor, which of course we all know features the 16-core 32 threads of amazing power and performance. I'm cooling that bad boy with the Corsair Hydro IQH150i 360mm liquid CPU cooler, as I do have plans on overclocking this bad boy. For the memory, I went with 64 gigabytes of ADATA XPG Z1 3000 megahertz memory, which I'm well aware isn't necessary for gaming, but it helps tremendously when it comes to editing pictures in Adobe Lightroom or videos inside Adobe Premiere, which, like I said, I wanted this computer to work really well for my content creation as well. For the graphics card, I went with the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 2080 Super. This is the one area where I skimped a bit on money, and honestly, now that I have the system, I do wish I would have just went all out and spent a couple extra $100 for the 2080 Ti. But overall, I'm still super happy with the performance of the Super. We also got a 1TB M.2 NVMe SSD, as well as a 4TB SATA 3 mechanical hard drive for games and backup, and both by Western Digital. So how much did this entire setup cost me through CyberPowerPC? About $3,000 US. But Before I hit that buy now button, I also priced all the components individually, and if I purchased them all individually and built it myself, I would have saved about $300. However, I knew that I could save a bit more, and that extra cost also included some perks that I just wouldn't have gotten if I built it myself. First, CyberPowerPC advertises with several streamers, so I knew there were coupon codes out there that could save me money, and thanks to Summit 1G, I saved an extra 5% off the entire purchase, which means after everything was said and done, I ended up paying about $150 more than I would have if I built it myself. When I purchased my PC, it was around July 4th, which is a holiday here in the United States, our Independence Day, and they had a promotion where instead of a normal 1-year warranty, you received a free upgrade to a 3-year warranty. Definitely not something I would have gotten if I built the PC myself. Also, they had a special where you got a game & mouse and mechanical keyboard for $9 each, as well as a decent free mouse pad. And to be honest, they're not the best keyboard or mouse, but for $9 each, they're definitely worth that. Also, that price included them professionally wire managing the cables inside the PC case, so it looks really neat and clean inside of there, and also performs better when it comes to airflow. This is something I've never personally bothered with, as well as overclocking the entire system, in which they guarantee at least a 10% increase in performance. I've never personally overclocked as well, and admittedly, it's not something that I'm very comfortable with trying myself. But this is where the problem began with CyberPowerPC that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. First things first, they never ended up overclocking the PC. Everything came stock defaults. The 3950X was sitting at the stock 3.5 gigahertz per core. The graphics card was sitting at its default clocks. The motherboard, the memory, not even the XMP profile was enabled. Nothing. So that was $19 that I paid for something that they didn't do. Also, I paid an extra $59 to have 6 Fantex RGB fans installed in the system, and instead of installing those RGB fans, they did install Fantex fans, but they were just black, no lighting at all. And then when I called in about the issue, their solution was either A, for me to send the machine back just to have some fans swapped, which would mean I would be without a PC for a month because I had already set everything up on this new system and then turned around and formatted my old system because everything seemed like it was working, and I just assumed I needed to install software for the RGB fans before they'd come on. So that really wasn't an option for me to send it back to them. So their second option was to refund me the money that I spent, the $19 for the overclocking, the $59 for the fans. However, because they put in Fantex fans, just black ones instead of RGB, that was actually an upgrade from the default case fans of like $39 or something like that. So they would only refund me for the difference between those two. I tried to explain to them that if I wasn't getting RGB, personally I would have just stuck with the default case fans, as it was a pricey case to begin with. So I'm sure the fans that by default come with it were perfectly fine. That they, I felt they should refund me the full $59. Again, just wasn't something that they were willing to do. So, for them not overclocking it or putting the RGB in that they were supposed to be putting in, I ended up getting about $40 back from the company, which, when it's all said and done, really doesn't feel like a fix or any kind of compromise on their part when they are the ones that made the mistake. Outside of that, I asked them if they could send me the RGB fans instead and I could install them myself, to which they responded that then I would need to take out the old ones, repackage them up, and ship them via UPS back to them. So taking more of my time and money when I had already had an hour or two invested in trying to figure out both the overclocking issue and the RGB issue. I think I was on the phone with just the tech for over an hour itself. And on top of that, if I were to replace the fans myself, I would have to cut into all of the professionally wire managed wires to then take out the old ones and put the new ones in, and then I'd have to re-manage all of that. Again, which was a feature that I paid them for, I believe around $30 to $40 as well. So I really felt I got the short end of the stick with that, just something to be aware of. Now, while I did have these several issues, overall the process with CyberPowerPC wasn't bad. There were plenty of options to choose from in regards to computer components. When building the computer on their website, including most name brand components you typically look at if you were building your own system. And the tech that I spoke with in regards to the issues that I had was friendly and apologized for the mistakes, but that still leaves me with the question of whether it was worth buying from them and if I would buy from them again in the future. Like I said, the site was easy to use and they keep you updated throughout the process of your build and where it currently is at in regards to preparing the parts, assembling the parts, quality control, and shipping of your PC. It also seems that they run promotions quite frequently, which paired with the streamer's discount code could make it quite competitive in price to build in your own. However, as I said, the main reason that I decided to go with the system from CyberPowerPC versus building my own wasn't just the price. If it was still cheaper building it myself even after the discounts and promos. And quite honestly, I enjoy building my own PCs. It was the fact that I could also get things done that I wouldn't typically do in my own builds, like the wire management, overclocking, and setting up of all the RGB equipment. It was all of those finalized touches that made me decide to order from CyberPowerPC. So in the end, if I had to do it all over again, knowing I would receive the system I received, while I'm quite happy with it and pumped to have it, I probably would have just built it myself, if I'm being completely honest. I was quite disappointed overall from CyberPowerPC. If you're interested in seeing my exact build and links to all the parts in my system, there will be a link in the description below that'll take you to my website where I have everything listed out individually. Also, if you have any questions about my build or my experiences with CyberPowerPC that I didn't answer in this video, I do stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evening over on Twitch TV, which you can also find linked down in the description below. Also, I have a review of my new $1,000 monitor that is great for both gaming and content creation. That'll be coming out soon. So make sure you get subscribed by hitting the red subscribe button below. Ring the bell next to it to be notified when I post it live on the channel. And as always, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, peace out, everybody.